Okay, so hello everyone. Today I'm from Immunology Workshop, which is Group 9. Here are my group members. There's me, Joshua Lai, there's Lolly Ming, Joy Cheong, Samantha Regina, and Muhammad Atisha. So for the case study that we were given is that Jake, a person, was rushed to a nearby hospital due to an accident that he recently had. And although he wasn't really severely injured, the doctor ordered him a blood transfusion to compensate the amount of blood that was lost during the accident. And Jake was given an AB positive blood based on the blood group card that was showed to the doctor. And around an hour later, after the blood transfusion, Jake started to show symptoms of blood pressure, drop in the blood pressure, and he started experiencing breathing difficulties. So we came up with 4 possible hypotheses. The first one being mismatch blood transfusion, allergic or hypersensitivity reaction, acute hemolytic transfusion reaction, or mixed chimerism from bone marrow transplant. So the lab findings are Jake's blood group is B positive, and the medical history that was done during the interview, Jake had a bone marrow transplant in a hospital which was roughly around 6 months ago. So the final hypothesis that we came up with was acute hemolytic transfusion, also known as AHTR. So what is that? So acute hemolytic transfusion could happen due to a blood incompatibility. So the incoming blood cells from the blood transfusion attacks the host immune system. In this case, which is Jake, his current blood type is B positive, which is incompatible with the donor's blood, which is AB positive. So this is due to the bone marrow transplant that happened around 6 months ago, which altered his blood group, therefore which causes a mismatch.
I'll be talking on the genetics and hematology. So for the genotype, the recipient Jack might have genotype IBIB as homozygous dominant or IBIO as heterozygous. This is due to the blood group B as the dominant allele. So for the phenotype, Jack has blood group B with rhesus positive. Transplant blood is blood group AB and is rhesus positive. Jack initially was blood group AB+. After the bone marrow transplant 6 months ago, his blood group changed to blood group B+. The genetics and hematology. So in this chart, we compare blood groups B+ and AB+ on key characteristics. So for the genotypes, B+ is determined by IBIB or IBIO. AB+ is defined by IAIB genotype. For the rhesus group, B+ has a rhesus negative status, while AB+ has a rhesus positive status. So for the donation compatibility, B+ can donate to B+ and AB+, whereas AB+ can donate only to AB+. So for the receiving compatibility, B+ can receive blood from B+, B-, O+, and O-. AB+ has the broadest receiving range from AB+, AB-, A+, A-, B+, B-, O+, and O-.
3 key mechanisms of acute hemolytic transfusion reaction. First is complement activation, which is a key driver of hemolysis and systemic inflammation. Antibodies binding to red blood cell antigens trigger pathogen-associated molecular patterns, forming the MAC, and cause hole in donor red blood cell membrane and intravascular hemolysis. Component fragments like C3a and C5a are potent inflammatory mediators that recruit and activate immune cells, causing systemic inflammation and causing symptoms like fever, chills, and hypotension. Then, IgM or IgG present in the plasma of recipient individuals identify antigens located on the RBCs of the donor individuals. And the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines by immune cells happen, and hemolyzed RBC components can lead to complications like fever, hypertension, and inflammation, while the destruction of RBCs can release free hemoglobin, causing renal damage and hemoglobinuria.
Next, there are a few symptoms of acute hemolytic transfusion such as fever, vomiting, back pain, and also hypotension. Fever in AHTR is primarily due to the activation of the immune system due to the mismatched red blood cells as they are recognized as foreign. Besides, back pain is also considered a hallmark symptom of hemolysis because our kidneys will filter the free hemoglobin released from the lyzed red blood cells, which can overwhelm the kidneys and cause pain in the lower back region. Other than that, vomiting is a cytokine-mediated systemic response where the inflammatory cascade can stimulate the vomiting center in the brain. Lastly, one of the reasons for hypertension is activation of the complement system, leading to release of histamine, causing blood vessels to dilate. Cytokine release also causes vascular permeability and hypovolemia. Severe reactions may also lead to hypovolemic shock. Next, here's an explanation of the pathophysiology and consequences of AHTR. For intravascular hemolysis, blood type incompatibility occurs, therefore the recipient antibodies will bind to the donor's red blood cells, which then activates the complement system, causing lysis of red blood cells inside the blood vessel. After that, free hemoglobin and ions will be released and deposited in kidney tubules, causing toxicity. This can lead to decreased kidney function and acute kidney injury. It can also progress to renal failure if not treated. Besides, hemoglobinuria occurs where the hemoglobin filtered into the urine causes dark or red-colored urine. Next, there will be systemic inflammation such as complement activation, which releases inflammatory mediators, for example interleukins and also immune cells. It can lead to hypotension and also shock. Lastly, inflammatory mediators and endothelial damage activates the coagulation system, which will lead to microvascular thrombosis in various organs. Overconsumption of clotting factors causes spontaneous bleeding. Besides, thrombosis also causes tissue ischemia.
Hemolytic transfusion reaction can be managed by supportive care. Some of them include immediate cessation of transfusion, which means that stop transfusion immediately while maintaining venous access for emergency interventions. Hemodynamic support, which means manage blood pressure and ensure airways patency. Management of DIC related bleeding, administer blood products such as frozen plasma, cryoprecipitates or platelet concentrate to control bleeding. Monitoring include conduct serial measurement of hemoglobin, hematocrit and lactate dehydrogenase level to access and guide the resolution of hemolysis. And we can see that Jack experienced an acute hemolytic transfusion reaction following a blood transfusion despite being given AB Rh positive blood according to his blood group card. AHTR is a serious life-threatening condition from a recipient's immune system attacking the transfused red blood cells. The reaction typically involves the formation of antibodies that target antigens on the donor RBCs, which led to the rapid destruction known as hemolysis. This transfusion reaction occurred due to not updated blood card that did not account for his change in blood type due to bone marrow transplant that occurred 6 months earlier. Thank you.